Hey guys, Jared G here, Chubby Unicorn Bear. Hope you guys are doing wonderful. I am doing pretty good myself. So I made a video a couple weeks ago on how to put together goodie bags for people in need, whether it be homeless or people at a shelter. A group of us got together, and after collecting different donations from people, we were able to put together over 500 goodie bags. 500! We loaded up two different cars full of bags, and we handed out bags that some had clothes, some had blankets, but a lot of them had snacks, food, hygiene items, but mainly some water, some socks, something to show we cared, something to show that somebody was thinking about you, even if you're not feeling like thinking about yourself. And really, that was the point. We came in contact with so many people. A lot of people just really briefly. Most people said thank you. Some people said bless you, which I hadn't sneezed, so that was like kind of preemptive in case I did later. When we got back together and started talking about things, we found that our stories were a little bit different. We came up in contact with people who hadn't had food, hadn't been taken care of in a while, but what we didn't always know was the other person's story. At one point, we got out of the car and there was people right along the strip where we were parked. And so I started talking to them. My sister said at that point she almost started crying because I was saying, well, what is your name? And I was shaking their hand. One guy's name was Rick, and he was going to have an interview, a job interview on Monday. That was exciting for him, and he was asking if I had shoes maybe that fit him better because the ones he had didn't fit. Unfortunately, I didn't have them, but I did have a bag where he could carry some of his stuff to lighten his load. So I tried to give him what I could. And there was another man there named Paul who was asking why we were doing this and who we were and what we were for, and he was thanking us. There was a family, looked like a husband and wife, and a friend of theirs, or maybe an adult son, I'm not sure, and they thanked us profusely before they headed off on their way. So it was kind of a cool thing. I had a gentleman come up on the coolest bike. He had like these handlebars somewhere here, and then there was like another set of handlebars up here. I like how I did that separately, as if I didn't want the wheel to turn, so I didn't, just let go. Look on it, because it was almost like antlers. If you had a bike with a baby bike created by a deer, these were the handlebars it would have. And we started discussing our experiences, who we talked to, how we felt. Did you cry? I cried. I totally cried. And the thing is, you do feel differently inside. But they had somebody come up on a bicycle and look over at them and just say out loud to them so that they could hear it. They're doing that for themselves. They're doing it to make themselves feel better. It has nothing to do with helping other people. And what's frustrating me is that it's such a negative thing and I can't stop being affected by it. I shouldn't allow somebody else's negativity to bug me. But it does. I almost feel like I have to justify myself. And look, here I am making a movie about it, making a video about it. So apparently it's bothering me. And I guess that's natural. You don't want to be called out. But at the same time, it makes me say, why am I doing this? What is the reason? So, what is the reason? It started, my older sister and her daughter had gotten together and put these goodie bags together with stuff that they had collected themselves. Something they could afford to do, because I think she wanted to work with her daughter on doing some volunteer work, because we grew up doing it. But it also came about because dynamics in my relationship and my family had changed to where we weren't sure what we were going to do during holidays. People were living in different places, families were doing different things. I always have a weird schedule anyway, so my younger sister and I kind of came up with the idea that maybe we could take those bags that our older sister had made and make more and collect things and make it kind of an event. And then we can go out and hand them out to people. And that would be our day. And that was our day. And it started kind of this trend of doing it. Got the ball rolling, if you will. And I will. But it got us to the point where we could go help other people. And at the end of the day, I did feel good. And I loved that other people were seeing it. But not because they were thanking me, not because they were saying I was wonderful, but because then they saw they could be doing this too. And here's the thing, not only could they be, but the next year we did it, we had again over 500 bags, which was actually twice what we had gotten the first year. And we had a house full of people helping put them together and handing them out. And everybody felt like they had helped somebody else, but they had all come together basically to let other people know we thought about them, and then we got the information back what they liked. Our friend Jen said, took our daughters with us down onto the 16th Street Mall, and they collected the information that the things people really appreciated the most and they could use. The females needed the feminine products, the bottles of water, and socks. Obviously, maybe a little bit of a snack is helpful too, so they have something to eat, but if they can't wash it down, sometimes it's not very easy. So that makes sense. And I think next time I will simplify it. We'll water, socks, and snacks. Water, socks, and snacks. Anyway, point being, yeah, you know what? I do feel good about myself. I do feel like I try to put forth energy to help other people, but also to show people you can do it too. I'm going to have to rely on what is donated and what I can afford to give. And not spread myself too thin, because you also have to take care of yourself. And if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not able to help others. Let the naysayers be irritated. It's probably their own insecurity that they aren't doing it, or it allows them to brush it off and say, I did this, and they don't know about it, but it's just not visual and I don't brag about it. Awesome. Good, cool. That works for you. That's wonderful. And when I see something, I see a person who needed help, I can't give my whole life away to be able to help other people, but I will use my life to help other people. And I hope that this is a good example for you to see, hey, I can do that too. That's something I can do in this area. Or that probably doesn't work. That's probably not realistic in this area of town, but I can look around, look in your area, Google or Yahoo search or AOL search or whatever you feel comfortable doing when searching on an engine. Throw it into that internet machine and say the name of your city and volunteering, and see if there's some email lists you can get on to sign up for. Alright guys, so I was making the video and I got a phone call, so then it cut us off. But I want to say one last thing. Be the love we need. Show people. Be a good example. And you know what? As Ellen says, be kind to one another. And as RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell are you going to love somebody else? So if you can do it, I can do it, we can do it together. All we need is love. It's true. All right. See you guys. Bye.